One.
Hey everyone, Kevin and Randall here from Divorce Strong. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope the year has started off well for you. We thought we'd do a little video really targeted to the people that are fresh into this unfortunate separation and divorce situation, stage of your life. But also it can be for anyone really. We're going to talk a little bit about goal setting, the benefits of goal setting, how do you set goals, and why should you set goals, and maybe talk about some of the goals that Randall and myself each have set for the year as well, or goals that we had when we were ourselves going through this difficult phase of life. Randall, do you want to start about goals and maybe talk a little bit about the benefits of setting a goal and why you should do so?
Yeah, great point. All right, so you're in this situation. I've said it 100 times. Your compass is going all over. You don't know which way is north or south. And I think an interesting question to ask that just pops in my mind is to start with, how do you know you're doing better? You know, you're in this swamp. How do you know you're healthier? So I think the goals can give you a pattern and a pathway to that point where you can look back and say, hey, I can quantify where I'm growing here. So the goals, a goal actually, the way you word it, it can move you forward or sometimes it can hold you back, right? If it's too broad, too high or too broad, like I'm going to get over this right away, or I want to find the perfect woman. How do you know the goal is what you should be pursuing at that time? So I would say baby steps. Let's start with the most basic. Are you healthy? Are you fit? Are you getting to the gym or some kind of healthy practice, yoga, CrossFit, whatever you got going on, your diet? So I think, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Kevin, before you set your goals, maybe take an accounting of your situation. What are your thoughts on that?
That makes sense. Basically, what you're saying is to make the goals realistic and to make them suitable and to make sure they make sense for you in your current situation. So if you're in a certain mindset, then having a goal which is too far out there may not be realistic, and it's just going to bring you further down if you can't reach that goal. So making it in baby steps is a good way to do it. And I think another way of wording it is focus on the actions and not the result.
Good.
So I do some personal training with clients sometimes, and I'll speak to them, and if they're interested in a weight loss, they'll be like, "Yeah, I want to lose 50 pounds." Okay, great. It's a good goal to have, but can't really do much with it. How are you going to achieve that? Well, I'm going to eat healthy and exercise more. Okay, well, those are the two common things that people say. That's great too. You've broken it down a little bit, but you got to break it down a little bit more than that. Like, what is eating healthy and what is exercising more for you? For some people, they don't consider themselves having exercised unless they've done like a 1 hour full-on workout. For other people, just getting into it, a 30-minute walk is something for them to applaud themselves for. So I think it's really, taking that what you said about baby steps and really breaking it down to the minutia, so to speak, of actually say, okay, I want to have this goal. How do I get there? And how do I get to that point? And how do I get to that point? So I think that's where it's, really breaking goals down. And in regards to the benefits of having a goal, especially for those of you who are in the eye of the storm, as Randall puts it, the purpose of having a goal is to let you know that your life still has purpose. Some of you may have been married a long time, maybe, decades, maybe. And when that ends, it's like, what does your life mean now? For some of you, it may mean that you may feel like your life means nothing. That's how you may be feeling. So having a goal will actually, give your mind focus, and it gives your mind something to focus on, to let you know that your life is still valuable. And once you achieve this goal, then you can achieve that goal, and you can keep going stronger and keep going higher.
No, really well said. And I think this is influenced by this book, Good to Great. I'm reading a little bit of. It's about companies going from good to great. And the first thing I says is, you have to look at where you are realistically with no fluff or anything. So I think that can be a hard time. Do it with compassion. So even before the goal setting, sit down and kind of look at where you are physically, your diet, your relationships, your work, your finances, all that, and give yourself a no BS assessment of it. It's not meant to bring you down. You do that. It's just the situation. So you interpret it as a negative, but look, if your finances aren't there, or your relationships aren't there, your health isn't there, that's an opportunity for growth. And then you can employ what Kevin's talking about, where it's small steps. And I invite everybody to throw in the comments some of your goals and ways you've approached it. That'll help the community kind of formulate their own vision for themselves. And look, just getting up 5 minutes earlier, Kevin, can be a huge thing. Maybe you've been sleeping until 7:20, get up at 7:15, 7:14. You'll be surprised at some movement in that direction. And I would add to that as the base to all this, and even weaving in with the goals. And I go a little too far with this stuff, but getting out of your comfort zone, do something uncomfortable every day, because comfort has led to you where you are. That's led you to where you are. So by definition, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone, I think.
Yeah, and getting out of your comfort zone isn't necessarily a bad thing. I know you're not meaning it as a bad thing, but when you say it like that, some people may think, well, I'm not getting out of my comfort zone. That's too scary. But when you do those scary things out of your comfort zone, you may actually find something that you really, really enjoy doing. And then boom, new hobby and interest. Boom, new opportunity to meet new people. And who knows where that could go, right? New relationship, new friendships, new career prospects, whatever that is. So now that we've spoken a little bit about the goal setting, let's talk about goal tracking. Okay, so people will often say, okay, that's my goal. I want to get to this point. And then they forget about it, right? It's the common thing about people going to the gym in January, then you don't see them from February to December, right? So what I like to do is I have my journal. I have about 5 or 6 resolutions or things I want to improve on, or things that I want to make sure I don't do anymore. And I write a little bit of blurbage about, why that's important, how do I want to achieve it. And I want to make sure this year that at the end of every month or the start of every new month, I'm going back to that and actually seeing where I am. Am I in the place that I want to be? Am I achieving this goal so far? Have I been slacking? And if you've been slacking, that's okay. It just reminds you of the goal. Okay. Or you can always have the goal in mind, but going back to those notes can actually remind you of why it's important to do that goal. So that's something a little bit about goal tracking. Randall, do you have anything to add about tracking your goals?
I just think in this situation, we're talking about divorce, right? So this has to come up. And dating, okay? So I think the beginning stage, Kevin, is you want to set your goals in your own wheelhouse, things that you can control. Now, going out and meeting people online or dating, whatever, that's within your control. To find the love of your life, there are 2 issues with that. One, that's a big one, obviously, and it's going to be high up there. And the only way to get there is to focus on your actions, not end result. And the second is when you start dating as a goal in this, you have to look at yourself and really decide, am I doing this to join someone else in a relationship where both of us grow, or I'm trying to fill in a hole? So this didn't work out. I need support. I need somebody who understands me. So you go out, you lay all that out. Then you want this person to understand you, fill your holes in. And then that happens for 3 months. And then it goes off kilter again. So that's why these goals should be in-house. And that first part, I'm not saying don't date or find the love of your life. That's awesome. But it's about growing together and being a team, not filling in your holes, if you will.
Yeah, and what comes to mind there is, and I went through this, and we've spoken to people as well that make this mistake as well. They focus so much on the end goal of the relationship when what they should really target is, okay, let me look at myself. How can I improve myself? And it's not about wasting time. Like sometimes when we suggest to some people, you just focus on yourself, improve yourself, it's almost as if they feel that we're saying to them that you're not allowed to date, you can't date, you shouldn't date, you're never going to find anyone, so don't bother anyway. But what we're really doing, and I've been through this myself, once you work on yourself and improve yourself, you come across as less desperate, so to speak, to the other person. And suddenly they're looking at you thinking, oh, this guy is standing on his own 2 feet. I can, have a nice, good, solid, strong foundational relationship with this person, as opposed to being too clingy. And when we're searching for someone, often that ends up being the case. We're just clingy to them, which is it's not any life to live anyway. So if you are having a relationship, if you are starting off this year with a goal of having a relationship, that's a great goal to have, but just make sure that you're going into it the right way. So give yourself some goals over the next 6 months on how to improve yourself. And then once you get to that point, second part of the year, perhaps then you can start going on a little bit more regular dates, trying to form that relationship with someone.
Yeah, I don't want to go off on a tangent where this is a dating thing again, so we'll put that on the shelf. But you get what I'm saying. I'd like to do a goal setting workshop. That might be interesting. So if anybody's up for it, email us at divorcestrong@yahoo.com or put it in the comments. And if we get enough people, why don't we could do that?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. And also, guys, I know some people are a little hesitant to send emails through us, but they'll comment in the comments section, which is all good. We love reading the comments. So if that's an issue, maybe write in the comment section that you would be interested in a goal setting conference call with us, and maybe we can organize it another way so you don't have to send email addresses through to us, if that helps. So maybe we'll start off that way. You can email us at divorcestrong@yahoo.com, but if you don't want to send an email, then simply write in the comment section that it's something that you'd like to do with us, and maybe we can work our way around it as well.
Yeah, and I would just add to all this discussion, going back to the start. It's a goal can be to think about your goals. I mean, this doesn't mean you go down, oh, I only have one goal. I don't even know. I don't have any goals. Your goals might be to think of some healthy goals for yourself. And again, literally, it could be to wake up 1 minute earlier, to take one deep breath before getting out of bed. Honestly, the simpler it is, the better. It's about consistency is really what I would add to that.
And it's building blocks, right? Like if you're wanting to wake up a little early, like let's say you want to wake up an hour earlier so you can start working out, but an hour early is too much. Okay, wake up, like Randall said, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then once you get more comfortable with that, you can just take it to another level. So yeah, so if you got any questions, anyone about goal setting, or if you want to ask specific questions on how to set goals based on your own specific situation, like we said, drop it in the comments section, and we can get on a Zoom call, and we can help you out. And also, of course, if there's any other topics that you want us to cover, I know we've touched on a few topics in today's chat. The main target was goal setting, but naturally, you kind of branch off into dating and this and that. So if there's any other topics that you want us to do a full video on, then write in the comments section.
Right. I think, before Kevin closes us out, I just want to say, look, man, everything's going to be okay. As bad as it seems now, and you can put out a litany of things with the kids, or she did this or that, everything's going to be all right. Okay. So give yourself some space, take a breath, do something you enjoy, and understand. I'm telling you, I know this. We've talked to like hundreds of people, been through it ourselves. It's not pretty, but things in life sometimes aren't. You know that well. So take comfort in knowing that it's going to be all right. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Randall. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Contact us. We'd love to chat with you. And until then, good luck with the goal setting, and all the best. Take care.
See you, everybody. Email us. Peace.